YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Mina. This video, extremely exciting for me. Why? Because it's my first ever flip. When I first ever started looking at real estate, I didn't even think about flips at all because I thought this is an extremely advanced strategy and it's not for a beginner idiot like me. Well, here we are. This channel, at least for now, mostly is gonna be like my first this, my first that, because I'm just starting out. If you think you're gonna enjoy watching some random dude on the internet make some random mistakes, this is a good channel for you. So please consider subscribing. So what are we talking about in this video? There are 4 points. You wanna look at them? And boom! So here are the 4 points we're gonna discuss. Number 1, how we found this deal and how you can find your own goddamn deals. Number 2, how do we know is it actually a good idea to do this? Is this a good flip? Is this a bad flip? We're gonna talk about that as well. Number 3, numbers, profit, and some before and after pictures, because I know you guys like that shit. Number 4, some do's and don'ts that I learned across these 3 other points. This is probably gonna be scattered. I'm not that organized. You already know this. Cool? Cool. Just before we do that, could you just do me the tiniest favor? Look into my eyes. Look into my eyes. God damn it. If you could just do me this one favor while I stare deep into your eyes, could you just ever so lightly make love to that like button? That like button down there, just lightly tap it, lightly make love to it, so that the gods of YouTube can show the video to other people other than Mom. Thanks, Mom, for watching. However, we need more views. Boom, see that? Fantastic. Finding deals. This is a big topic, so we could just take a whole video on that by itself. However, I already said we're gonna talk about it, so let's briefly touch upon it. There's basically 2 ways you can find deals. Pretty simple, either you or someone else. Pretty straightforward. So what is it gonna cost? If it's you, probably gonna cost you time more than money. If it's someone else, probably gonna cost them time, cost you money. Again, straightforward. There's 3 types of other people that I look towards for deals. A wholesaler is someone who runs around and goes to find deals on your behalf, gets those places, and then comes to you and charges you a fee for that service. Obviously, not all deals are good, just like on the market where not all deals are good, with wholesalers, not all deals are good either. So beware. Number 2, realtors. I feel knowing a realtor is a very underutilized asset. Usually, a lot of the realtors have something called pocket listings. What does that mean? It means they know someone who's looking to sell. Before you get it on the market, you can quickly go in and scoop it out. Make sure you talk to some realtors. Introduce yourself. Hey, this is my name. This is what I want to do. How can we help each other out? Number 3, other investors. So, if you want to get into flipping, you bet your ass you better be talking to other investors. And you never know. Some of them may want to sell quick because they have another opportunity. They just got fed up. They blah, blah, blah. Someone else's problem might be your profit. Hashtag problems are profits. Shout out to Matt's team. Now, you hate people, you don't want to talk to people, they're all blah, blah, blah. Cool, nice excuse. However, there's the you part. There's the you part. What you can do now is go send out flyers.
Well, Mina, flyers are sometimes not effective. I sent 3 flyers.
One day, okay, shut up, okay? They work. I personally know people who make hundreds of thousands of dollars through this strategy. So don't tell me it doesn't work. Is it a lot of work? Yeah, it is. You have to be willing to do that. If you're not, then you gotta go pay their fee. It is what it is. Number 2, just go door knocking. You see a house that seems completely run down, go knock the door. Very easy. Well, they want it. It just doesn't matter. You gotta go knock some doors. Some people are gonna tell you to fuck off, and that's fine. You wanna make some money? You're gonna have to take some fuck offs every once in a while. Cool, cool. 3rd one, which is one of my favorites, I would say 40% of my deals I got through this. Talk to random people. Just go walk up to a random tenant on the street, to a random contractor, walk into a convenience store, strike up a conversation, and tell them what you're looking for. Do you know anybody looking to sell? You would be surprised how much people have information. And my strategy with this is very simple. Shut up and listen. People like to be heard. Number 2, show them that their knowledge is valuable to you. Buy them a pizza, buy them a drink, tell them I'm gonna give you some money. Everybody wants to feel listened to and valued. Good? Beautiful. Let's skip to the next part. You found something that someone told you're gonna make $10 million on this flip. We need to know first, is it a good or a bad deal? You're not experienced, you don't know, you're a beginner like me. So what's the approach here? First of all, I recognize and acknowledge, at least for myself, when I used to hear the word flipping houses, or the dude in the plaid shirt with the hat and the boots. Oh yeah! or someone with like unlimited capital, and God knows I don't own a plaid shirt or a hat or the steel-toed boots. So what do? You follow these steps. You can still buy a plaid shirt, it's fine, but I just don't have one, it's fine. If you're gonna get anything out of this video, let it be this one thing, because this makes all the difference. It's quite a generic saying, I know, but just internalize that. The most important step in anything in real estate is the buy. If you buy right, it's quite hard to fuck up. And at least in my mind, I attribute any success that I may have had in real estate is that I bought most of the things at the right price point. So if you get that one step right, you're already halfway there. So try and focus a lot of effort in buying right. Know the right people, know how to run your numbers, which is what we're gonna get into right now. How do you run your numbers? First of all, that dude that told you, hey, you're gonna make $1 million on this flip, tell him, fantastic. However, I need to check my ARV and the comps. What is ARV? After repair value. It's a flip. You're gonna do some renovations in, and you need to know, after you do all the beautiful shit that you're gonna do, how much is this thing gonna be worth? And here comes the comps. Comps means comparables. Go talk to your favorite realtor, tell them, hey, can you get me the sales for the last 6 months on all single family homes with 3 bedroom and 2 bathroom, or whatever it is, the thing that you're looking at. You're gonna find a wide range of variety in prices. Make sure you pick the right damn thing. You have this shitty house, don't go look at comparables with this. I know that makes sense, but we all fall for the trap because we always wanna look at the high comparables. Don't look at this thing. This is the one you have, so look at things similar to this. Number 2, don't look at outliers. What does that mean? You're gonna find a wide range of prices. Don't pick the highest, absolute tip-top highest price and say, whoop, boom, my ARV millions, and you go high-five your mom. If you do that, you're gonna have a bad day, man. Very bad day. Don't pick the highest one. Just look at the average, or even below average. Just be safe. It's your first time. We're both idiots, so just take it easy. Now, what do you do next? You go look at the work required. What does it need? What does this property need? Does it need a coat of paint? Or does the foundation need to be changed and you need to change the roof and do all that stuff? Whatever it is, go in. If you don't know how to do it, get someone who does and put a budget for the shit that is required. After that, look at the market situation. What are houses selling for? Are they selling immediately like hotcakes, or are they sitting on the market? Is there only 2-3 places similar to yours, or is there 1,000 places on the market? That will determine how picky your buyer is and how much work you need to do in order to get your ARV, the one we just talked about, remember? No? Cool. The last thing, which is very important, especially if you're a beginner like I am, there's a goddamn safety margin. If everybody tells you it's gonna cost 20, put 30. If they're telling you to sell for 300, put 250. If they're telling you the average is 300, budget for 280. Oh, it's a really hot market, are you sure? Well, just budget for a bit lower. If it works on the lower prices, you're gonna be fine. You can make that quick decision and buy that thing. If you know anything about me, you know I know jack shit about renovations, and I'm quite lazy too. You wanna know my level of lazy? This is my level of lazy. Now to my real life situation, first flip, let's take a look at what happened. Well, how did I find this deal? Remember the wholesalers I talked about? There was a buddy of mine who's a wholesaler, his name is Ben, and he knows we've been looking for flips. So what did he do? He found a flip, he called us up. Dude, I found this flip. So my partner Jamie and I, what is the first thing we did? We may have high-fived a little bit, but forget about that. We called our realtor and we got the comps. We just talked about this. You need to find the comparables in the ARV. Boom, house flipper, fantastic. In our case, this is what the house looked like. Yeah, nothing too special about it, and it wasn't really in a good area. However, the price was mesmerizing. We purchased this place for $90,000. The cheapest house on the market at all was over $180,000. So, after we looked at the comps, in our case it was a 3-bed, 1-bath, we thought, yeah, not much to think about here, because if you buy right, you really can't screw up that bad. So, after we figured out that the comps were nice, we started to look at the ARV. What are we gonna get if we repair this thing a little bit and make it look nice? This is what it looked like on the inside. So yeah, not very appealing on the inside. There was literally toilets shoved in the middle of the living room. The dude just fucking punched a hole in the ground, put a toilet in, and was like, yeah, this is what it is. Anyways, I digress. So what did the after repair value look like? There was a wide range of prices. There was around 190 all the way up to like 320 and 350. However, the ones that are 320 and 350, much better areas, bigger lots, bigger houses, all these things. So what did we do? We discarded those. We are conservative here. We're not professionals. Remember, I don't own a plaid shirt, so I don't get the luxury of looking at the outliers. What we anticipated, we're like, okay, our worst case scenario here is we're gonna sell this for about $200,000. So what we said, okay, our worst case scenario is we're gonna sell this for $200,000 because there's nothing on the market that is even close to that price. And even though it's a shitty area, it's the cheapest on the market. So I was comfortable with that assumption. After looking at these comparables, I realized that the houses that are selling for that price point on the inside are kind of garbage. They're kind of old. So if I fixed mine up, it's gonna be better than those, so looks like I'm safe there. One of the do's and don'ts that I learned here was right now, this property is in Sarnia, Ontario in Canada. The market, super hot, it's crazy. Everybody's buying everything. Usually, that means you can afford to spend a little more. You can make the kitchen a little nicer. You can wait a little bit on the renovations. Don't do that. In a flip, at least my perspective right now, time is the absolute worst thing you can waste. Do not waste any time. You don't know when the market's gonna turn around. Maybe in a week there's 100 houses on the market. Don't take that risk. Be very quick and extremely aggressive with your timeline. There's a very well-known rule. It says, work expands to the time allotted for it. What does that mean? If you give someone a month to make your bed, he'll probably take a month. So don't give a month, be extremely aggressive, because if you take more time than necessary, you're gonna be screwed. There's something that I always do. Mina is an idiot fund. I know I'm gonna fuck up at some point, whether it's in money or time, so I need to anticipate that beforehand. How do I do that? Crunch my timeline, crunch the budget. That way if I overspend or overshoot on time, I'm still okay. Second thing you shouldn't do, don't over renovate. Remember the comparables we looked at in the ARV? Look at the level of renovation as well. Is everything super high end? If everything's super high end, then that's the level you need to reach. But if everything is average, why are you putting that granite countertop with the black streak in because your mom likes it? That is irrelevant. This is not a vanity game, pun flips. This is a numbers game. Numbers and time, that's all you need to know here. Remember the before pictures? These are the after pictures. All of this cost us around $12,000 with the flooring, the paint, drywall, all of these things. Do we have to remove it and get the granite countertop with the black streak? No. Tell your mom I'm sorry, I'm not gonna buy the one you like because the ARV and the comps, mom. Explain to your mom what comps is. Or just don't listen to her, she's not a flipper. You see, something really important in flips. Everybody likes before and after pictures. I know. And that's the tangible thing about flips. You can show someone what you did here. You can put it on Instagram before and after to show your ex-girlfriend that you're killing it. However, nobody gives a shit. What matters in a flip are the numbers and the time. Put the numbers first and they shall not fail you. Now let's go to those juicy, sexy numbers. So what did the numbers look like when we originally looked at this deal? Purchase price, PP, investor lingo, $90K. With fees, because remember, there's a wholesaler, so he needed a fee. With fees and closing and blah, it ended up costing me $120,000, which is still very reasonable. Some people say, why would you pay all that fees on a $90,000 house? Because the numbers work. We said, this is a numbers game, okay? If the numbers are good, then you are good. The reno estimation was around $15,000. Why? Because we're not gonna over renovate. We're really serious on the amount of work we need to do. We got the quotes for around $10,000, but we said, man, let's just assume it's 15 because some stuff is gonna come up. And obviously, I always add, Mina is an idiot fund. What's that fund? I know I'm gonna screw up, so I put a fund in to pay for my idiotic stuff. The fund here was around $15,000 extra. Now, are you gonna sell it, just sell? No, there are costs to selling, there's holding costs, there are a bunch of other costs involved. So we add another $15,000 in miscellaneous and selling costs and whatnot. And after looking at the ARV and the comps, we estimated on the low side, we're gonna get $220,000. Now, Here's what's important. All these costs altogether are $165,000. So with my idiot fund, with the closing cost, with all these things, I'm at 165. And my estimation was I'm gonna sell it for 200 to 220,000, which is a healthy profit margin for the amount of risk I'm taking for this money, especially being a beginner. So remember this calculation very clearly. Put all your costs, all your closing and selling costs over the estimated selling cost. What does that look like? So in my case, it was around 75%. That left me with a 25% margin for profit and or anything that may happen. I'm still secure for about 25%, including my idiot fund, which meant this is a good deal. Sign immediately. Don't think too much. If the numbers are this good, don't think too much. You thought it through. You looked at the comps. You gave yourself an idiot fund. You looked at conservative comps. So you're good. An important caveat here. I've seen a lot of people who buy properties that after all the renovations and all that, it comes to about 90 to 95% of the selling price. Now, is that good? Not for me. I'm a beginner. I know where I am. I know my level, and I need to abide by it. If you're gonna end up with a profit of $30,000, that's great. But if the property's $1 million, just say, you're too tight. You're way too tight.
That's what she said.
Especially for a beginner, which we are, so let's focus on our beginner shit. Now, why did I show you this, not the actual numbers that happened? Because it's really important to remember, this is a very important concept in a book I read called Thinking in Bets. I really recommend reading that book, which basically says is how you make the decision, that's what's important. Because you cannot predict the outcome, you don't know what's gonna happen, but you can always predict how you are gonna make that decision. So make certain rules for yourself. For example, if this ended up selling for 120 and I lost money, I would have been okay with that outcome. Why? Because I ran my numbers correctly. There was no indication that I could have seen that the market will drop and I would have sold it for 120. I moved fast, I looked at the comps, I was conservative, didn't work out. But I'll still do the same decision-making process again. There's this saying that I love so much, saying the difference between really successful people and other people is the decision-making process. How they make decisions is more important than the outcome. Now, enough of this bullshit. Let's look at the actual outcome. So what happened? Purchase price remains the same because we have to buy right. Fees remain the same. Renos, we actually did it for around 12,000 or 13, something along those lines. So I'm just gonna keep it at 15. Mina's idiot fund did not need it. My partner Jamie made sure that we didn't need this fund, so cross that out. Selling and holding costs, we only did this in around 3 weeks. Why? Because time is very important, we said that. Selling and holding costs was around 15K. So this one was okay as well. My estimated ARV was very wrong because what did we get? $254,000. So basically we bought a house for 120 and we made over $100,000 in profit. Yes, over 100,000. However, remember this, the outcome isn't as important. We got lucky because the market is crazy hot and we got a bunch of extra money. Cool. However, that doesn't mean you need to be lax with your numbers in the next deal. The next deal you need to be as aggressive with your timeline and money because that's what got you this number in the first place. At some point, something's not gonna go right. And as long as you make the correct decision process every time, you're gonna average out to being okay. Biggest mistake, don't think you're a genius because the market's hot. When the market's hot, everybody makes money. It's when the market is low and who makes money then, that's the real challenge. But in this case, woo! Bang, we made a shit ton of money, fantastic. All right, to summarize, what did we learn here? Number one, yes, you can flip as a beginner. You don't need a plaid shirt. Number two, never over-renovate. Never don't look for the before and after pictures, okay? If you're running after the before and after, you'll get it, but we're not quite sure you're gonna get a healthy profit. Why? In this case, I could have spent 20,000 more and still been okay. However, not every time the market's gonna be hot. Not every time I'm gonna be extremely correct on my comps, so you need to account for that. Number three, watch your bottom line like a goddamn hawk. Your bottom line and your timeline will make or break your deal. So if someone's getting between you and your timeline, get them out of your way. You're a beginner, you need to watch for everything. A lot of people tell you just cruise, autopilot, doesn't matter, oh my god. However, when you're a beginner, you want to learn. You don't want to be that guy forever. You don't want to have a mean as an idiot fund forever. So make sure you watch those things like a goddamn hawk. Basically, speed is your best friend, even if you're gonna make $2 million in profit. Watch what you spend, because that's how business is done. Do it correctly every single time, regardless of your top line. What you're gonna make is irrelevant. Push your bottom line as far down as you can, because the leanest of operations always wins. The leaner you stay, the more you can weather storms, market fluctuations, and whatever the worlds want to throw in your shitty face, you can still weather it because you're shoved down that bottom line. Anyways, that was it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. I know you didn't leave a like. I know you're probably not watching till the end. But anyways, if you subscribed, I love you. If you didn't, I hate you. Thanks very much. Watch out for the next video.